to my channel. I'm Toma White, and this channel is all about feminine energy and how can you tap into that so you can really use all the powers of beautiful feminine energy in your life. So today I want to talk about how you can increase your feminine energy. So I will be sharing with you 5 tips of how you can increase your feminine energy in your everyday life. Now, before I begin with this video, I want to talk a little bit about energies here. Knowing what masculine and feminine energy is really important for you to understand of how you can make it work, and maybe you are living a little bit of an imbalanced life with your energies. Now, both masculine and feminine energies are 2 completely different energies, and they both are equally important. So it's not that one is worse than the other. They both are equally important, and when you live in the harmony of both energies, you will notice how more fulfilling your life will feel, and how all the goals that you ever wanted to achieve and all the dreams that you ever wanted to make happen, they actually become way more effortless when you work in harmony with your both energies. Now, one thing that I have noticed these days, that masculine energy is really being kind of the main favorite of all, and I feel like feminine energy has been pushed aside a little bit. You will notice that a lot of the times motivational videos or quotes, or it became very trendy to kind of live that hustle lifestyle, and it's all about hustle. It's all about achieving your goals, who has more things and who have achieved more things and things like that. So it's very much like hunting type of energy and hunting type of mentality that it is favored in our society these days, and that is a very strong masculine energy. Now, what happens when we are focusing too much in our masculine energy, we end up kind of living in more masculine energy and not in the harmony of both. So that's why sometimes you might feel kind of empty, not motivated. You might feel like something is constantly missing. You might feel like you kind of living in a very logical space. It might feel overwhelming at times, sad, all these kind of emotions that you feel like even though you have achieved a lot of things in your life, that they still don't make you feel happy. And that is because you are very much living in this achieving, getting things done mindset, instead of actually taking on some emotional side of things that feminine energy is all about. Because feminine energy is all about flow, it's all about unconditional love, it's all about beauty, it's all about intuition, it's all about wisdom. So it's very kind of easy energies, emotional energies. How we experience the world is the beauty that we're creating, and both energies are so important for one another because they really both lift each other up. Because feminine energy allows you to create all of these wonderful things that you might want in your life, and your masculine energy will actually help you to achieve those things. But yet, as I mentioned before, like a lot of the times we're focusing on just achieving the next goal, the next thing, and we forget about the fulfillment, we forget about the emotional aspect of things. And especially us as ladies, there's so much power in tapping into this divine feminine energy. Although energies has nothing to do with genders at all, I have a feeling that as females, as ladies, we already have kind of that natural intuition that's given to us, and the wisdom and creativity. And so if we can tap a little bit more in that divine feminine energy and actually use that in our everyday life, you're just gonna make everything a little bit more effortless, a little bit more joyful, a little bit more pleasurable. And so today I want to share with you 5 tips of how you can tune in with your feminine energy a little bit more. I was focusing to make sure that those tips are quite effortless, so it doesn't take you crazy amount of time to kind of get into it. So these are the things that you can actually incorporate into your every single day life. So the first step to connect or get in tune with your feminine energy is to reconnect with nature. Now, we do call nature a mother nature because it really is a powerful, limitless source of feminine energy. and it's all about creativity. If you look in nature, everything is beautiful, everything is effortless, everything is full of life, and that is really the essence of feminine energy. And for us as women, it's super powerful to actually reconnect with that source. So if you can, take a little walk in the park, at the beach, or anywhere that you can where you are surrounded by nature, and just be. Don't think about work stuff when you are in nature. Just really go on that walk or picnic or whatever that would be. Just go in the nature and kind of even get lost there and just be present. Deeply, take your breaths in of that fresh air. If it's summertime where you are, and if it's warm enough and it's safe enough, take your shoes off, really kind of walk barefoot on the grass. Of course, if you are in the forest and if you might step on a snake or something, maybe it's best to keep your shoes on. But if you are in the nature, just really, take your shoes off, enjoy the nature, reconnect with it, and really feel kind of that pulse that nature has. It's like the rhythm when the wind kind of touches the trees and the leaves. It's just an amazing feeling to be there. And if you you don't need to go for those walks every single day. You can do it, once a week, twice a week, but you will notice a difference. You will notice how you kind of are exhaling all of the worries that you have, and kind of taking a fresh deep breath in of new perspectives, of the wisdom that you have deep inside you. Sometimes you don't even know of the wisdom and things that you have inside of you, and sometimes you just need to connect with that source in order for you to have an access to those amazing things. So take a little walks in nature, whatever that would be, whenever that would be, as long as it works with your lifestyle. Then another thing, I really like surrounding my environment with nature as well. So I always make sure that I have fresh flowers in my house, that I have some alive plants in my house as well. So something that allows me to connect with that home base that is Mother Nature. So if you can, get some fresh flowers, get some plants, and make your environment a little bit more alive. A lot of the plants you can actually choose to get like more functional ones, the ones that clear the air in your apartment, or the ones that have already beautiful flowers with them, so you don't need to get fresh flowers and plants. So really see what works for you, what you enjoy, what you like, and make that as part of your lifestyle. Now, tip number 2 is to create. Now, allow yourself the time, or give permission to take that time where you just create. Now, feminine energy is very creative. There's a lot of creativity there, and as women, we are so good at making things happen and finding solutions to every single situation there is, because we are naturally so creative. So really, if you are living in that very masculine energy, take that time for yourself to create for no reason. And it can be anything. It can be baking, you're creating something and you're baking something. It can be dancing, it can be painting, it can be really anything, designing, coloring, writing a blog, anything that would be. Take that time to create and really lose the track of time in that pure joy and pure pleasure of what's yet to come, and that unknown, and that kind of playfulness, because feminine energy is very playful. It's a lot about joy, it's a lot about pleasure. So really enjoy that time. Don't feel guilty about it, because if you will, set aside the time, 1 hour, I'm going to be creative, and let's say 1 hour later you feel like you haven't created anything, don't feel guilty about it. Just enjoy the process. Creativity is not necessarily about outcome. It's about enjoying the process, and then the beauty of that process is actually an outcome of itself. So take that time to create a little bit more in your life. Now, tip number two, again, it's going to be giving yourself time and allowing yourself time to give yourself any kind of self-care rituals, beauty rituals, really pampering yourself a little bit. And ladies, we all deserve it. These days we work so hard, we make things happen. Sometimes we're juggling the children, work, career, side business, charity, volunteering, all these kinds of things. And sometimes we have to do it all in one go, right? So we really do deserve the time to take for ourselves, to really nurture ourselves and have that quality time that if we feel whole, if we feel happy, if we feel fulfilled, then everyone around us will feel the same. So take that time for any kind of beauty rituals, whatever that would be, whatever makes you feel good, like a goddess, like a queen. Maybe you want to get your nails done. Maybe you want to, use some beautiful skincare. Maybe you want to take a beautiful bath with essential oils in it. Whatever that would be, give yourself that time, and even you can make it as a little ritual once a week. You are taking that 1 hour to do that beauty ritual, whatever makes you feel good. We're all very different. Some of you maybe will want to play with your makeup. Others might want to get the nails done. Other person might want to, massage themselves with beautiful essential oils. Whatever makes you feel like a queen, whatever makes you feel like a goddess, whatever unleashes that queen that's within, that's the time to do it. So really take that time for yourself, for the self-care, for any kind of beauty ritual. Now, tip number 4, it's all about quality connections. Now, that's when you can actually allow that time to connect with people that you love. Now, whether it is a family, maybe there are a group of girlfriends, maybe there is one best friend, whatever that would be, that gives you that quality time and allows you to give that unconditional love for other people. That's going to be an amazing way for you to really tune in with that feminine energy, because feminine energy is really nurturing, is very much about unconditional love. And connections and relationships is really super important in our lives. There's some of, if not the most important things that we have on this planet Earth, and every single time we get into contact, like quality time, quality contact with someone, we actually exchange that love, we exchange that nurturing. So give yourself the time to really meet the people that you care deeply about. Give them love, give them nurturing, give your time to them. And as I said, it doesn't matter who it is, your family, your girlfriends. Actually, if it's a female connection, that would be even better, because when females exchange the energy, there's amazing things that can happen. But more than that, no matter the gender, really allow yourself to spend that time giving unconditional love and receiving as well, because feminine energy is very receptive. It's all about receiving, whilst masculine energy is a lot about giving, female energy is a lot about receiving. So allow those people as well to give you love and be able to receive that love without feeling guilty about it, without feeling some type of way like you need to give something back. Just receive whatever is going to be giving to you, gifts, love, beautiful energy, time, whatever that is. Just really allow yourself to receive that, because you deserve it, you're worth it. And a lot of the times when we feel like, we're guilty about something that we got given and we feel like we want to give back, that feeling when you give something to someone and they either don't accept it, or then you feel like they want to give something back because they feel guilty, it kind of really ruins the purpose of them giving something to you. So it's the same thing. If the other person, really wants to make your day, and if they want to make you feel special, allow them to feel that as well by you accepting the gift, accepting the time, accepting the energy, whatever that is, and at the same time feel good about receiving it. And tip number 5 is to allow flow in your life. Now, this is the big one, because one thing that I have seen, particularly in this day and age, is like this extremely structured lifestyle. I live in London, And I see it happening every single day. 5 o'clock, train stations are full. 9 o'clock in the morning, train stations are full. 2 o'clock during the daytime, you can't go anywhere because people are on the lunch breaks. It's such a structured lifestyle where you know what time you wake up, you know what time you go to work, you know what time you go for lunch, you know what time you come back, you know what time you go to bed. And there's no wrong in having a structure, but yet there's no place for flow. And a lot of the times amazing things happens when you don't plan them. So if your life is extremely structured, there's no place for beautiful things to come in your life. Now, I'm not saying here like, oh my God, now completely destroy your lifestyle, destroy your structure. No, keep the structure, but allow the space for amazing things to happen. Allow time for flow to happen. For instance, if you finish work at 5 o'clock and you can't change that, that's cool. I'm not saying that you should leave at 3 p.m. and say goodbye and I will be back tomorrow. No, finish that work at 5 o'clock, but then maybe if you feel like it in that moment, go for a walk, or call that friend, or go to see your mom, or go and have a drink, even if it's with yourself. Take yourself on the date, whatever that would be. Allow time for that flow, because I feel like a lot of the times, especially weekdays, when we live in this, particularly when we live in a very masculine state, you just always think about next thing to do. Okay, so I've done this. Okay, what's my next thing to do? It's constantly like that, and it's like a circle. So instead of that, I want you to challenge and think, okay, I finished work. Maybe I can, do this if you feel like it. Or, oh, you're on a strict diet, and then actually, I really feel like having, ice cream today. Go and have that ice cream. So allow that space for flow, and you will see how many amazing things can happen, because through unknown, through the energy of flow, especially your intuition starts kind of kicking in, and allow your intuition to lead sometimes, because our intuition, our inner understanding, the inner wisdom knows things that our minds can never understand or can never predict. So really allow that to lead, and kind of give them a little bit of a power over you sometimes. Not saying that you should do it every day, but whenever you feel like something needs to change, you feel tired, you feel exhausted, allow that time for that flow, because there might be something that can be coming your way, or there might be something that your intuition is sensing that you don't understand just yet, but you will never know until you actually open the doors for that to come in. So there you go. These were my 5 tips on how you can tap in to your feminine energy a little bit more. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. That would really mean so much for me. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more of those videos when it comes to feminine energy, and what is feminine energy, how you can kind of tap to that feminine energy, and how it can improve your life really as a result of that. So I'm gonna wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Let me know if you're gonna use any of those tips, or if you are using any of those tips, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.